about a minute and a half before we were supposed to go live, and then NVIDIA drivers deciding to not want to work with the new Windows update. So we're in the old tried and true technology, but we should be here broadcasting to everybody. I'm joined, uh, like from the other episodes, with Matt below me, and then
Hi.
Dan off to my right. And we have a special guest today, owner of Golden Rhino Games, Ian, in my
Hey,
opposite corner. Um, how are you guys doing now? We're into week, oh, time's gone by, like 8 of quarantine
Has it
end of
been
the
8?
world.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's almost 2 months now.
Yep.
Good lord.
So, how's it going? Especially with you, Ian, starting up a new store. How has this
Yeah,
affected you?
my timing's been great, right? No, no, it's fine. It's been one of those things where it's been really, really weird to say the least. Very nerve wracking for sure. But at the same time, the silver lining to it is that it's given me the time that I've needed to make this as best as I can. So all in all, doing okay. So thanks.
Yeah, good. And how about you, Dan? How's things going with you?
Good. Busy, but yeah, good.
Are you? How'd things go with your Kickstarter? Are you still providing masks, 3D masks, and everything for the people in the area, the hospitals?
Yeah, so we're over 1,500 shields on our way to 2,000 right now, and we've been making masks as well. My mother-in-law also has been making cloth masks, which is a big thing right now. Things are finally starting to slow down a bit. This weekend, though, we just got a call out for as many shields and masks as possible for the Navajo Nation, as they have not had any support, and there's over 250,000 people on their reservation who have not gotten any kind of PPE or any kind of assistance from the government and such. So the guy who is doing a big push, he's the guy who I've been working with that makes masks and been distributing them. He asked me and a couple others to help out, and so we're providing over another 300 shields this weekend to go out on Monday to them.
Wow, that's awesome. And if someone wants to reach out either for help or to help you, how would they go about doing that? Like, how would they contact
Yeah,
you?
so they can contact me directly at kennedyd1212 at gmail.com. We also have our GoFundMe, which I'll post inside of the stream as well. Throw it up there for people to get the link there. There's a contact info on there. You can contact me directly through GoFundMe, or you can donate. And even if you don't want to donate money, though, or can't, there's a big push right now for helping with masks, even cloth masks, especially as a lot of states go to a mandatory need for you to wear a mask places. People can't get them everywhere. So you can sew your own. If you got a sewing machine, you can put it together. It's not complicated. So there's a lot of need and a lot of help going out for that as well. So
Yeah,
Awesome.
my wife's been doing that too. She's been making some really cool little custom masks like this, with
Yep.
pipe cleaner and stuff in it to hold it up against your nose real well. But yeah,
that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's what the big need is right now is masks more than anything else. Even hospital workers are willing to take the cloth masks and stuff as they're better than nothing. But there's a lot of places that you could donate to. And it's the COVID-19 relief is the group that I've been working with directly, and they've been doing a really great job of distributing them. And Travis is the guy who runs that. So
Cool. Cool. How about you, Matt? Have you been staying safe? Staying out of the way?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I can. I mean, I got called into work physically for the first time in 2 months yesterday, but I was gloved up and masked up and washed my hands more than I ever have in my life. So, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
no
Cool.
big.
It's good to hear that you're staying safe. But
Mhm.
kind of rolling in more abruptly than we normally would, but due to circumstances, we got to roll with it. Ian,
yeah.
Golden Rhino Games. What is it?
hmm
Where are you guys located? What are you doing? What's going on with that?
a lot, right? So first things first, I make the same kind of assumption too, but I got to break myself of it too. So it's unfortunately it's just me. I have no other supporter, no other partner, no nothing. It is 100% just me. I'm opening up a brand new game and hobby store over in Ypsilanti, actually, just south of I-94. Super, super convenient, right across the street from the Whitaker Library in the Paint Creek Plaza. I've got the lease for it, so things are looking good there, but we're total lockdown, so I can't sign it or do anything basically until they say I can, which is unfortunate. I was really, really hoping to open up, looking towards like May 17th, but now that looks like it's almost indefinitely going to be pushed back to at least May 28th, 29th, something like that. But things are still going really, really well. I've managed to get a lot of product rolling back in. Nothing yet from GW because they're still on lockdown as far as Memphis goes. But I am taking orders, so to speak, and as soon as I can process them and Games Workshop can accept them, then I'm basically, letting everybody know what's going on from there. But it's been a slow creep, that's for sure. Right now, as I was telling you earlier this morning, I'm right in the middle of building the tables for the store. So you can actually go to goldenrhinogames.com today. The plan is that I've had a fundraiser going to try to generate some money, and it has been awesome. There's guys that have been donating and buying stuff for me, has helped out so much. I really can't thank you enough. So later on today, I'll be taking down the fundraiser so that I can actually start putting up some regular items so that hopefully you guys will be able to purchase those and pick those up and support the store that way too and fulfill your hobby needs. But if you go on there right now, goldenrhinogames.com, and click the support me button, you can see the different things that you can either purchase, donate, have your name engraved on tables, things like that. And you can actually see the table themselves, what I'm building. So I'm going to have 6 to 8 of those. Right now I've got 4 completed. I ran out of screws this morning, so I got to go out and get some more supplies. So I'm going to have to glove and, mask up and go out there to get it. But it's a work in progress, my friends.
So that's 8 full, 6 foot by 8 foot gaming tables, or 6 by 4?
They're not that big. Yeah, so the tabletop themselves, they're 6 by 4. On each end, there's an additional 1 foot added on space bar, so you can put drinks, your dice trays, your books, whatever you want. And then in the middle, so on your long table edge for you 40K players, there's actually a middle section that rolls out that you can put another book on, your tablet, whatever. And then the cool part is, not only is there storage underneath to put totes of terrain, your army bag, cases, whatever it is, the tables themselves have not 1 but 2 power outlets on them, so you can charge USB devices and laptops.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then for anybody watching right now, we posted a link to the goldenrhinogames.com website, so just look right in chat. Thanks,
Awesome.
Rusty.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
So they're not tables, they're battle stations.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Yeah. And so you can actually get your name engraved on them. It's basically a way for you to support the store, but also for me as a way to, show that you guys are supporting the community by that. So I've managed to sell, I think, 12 spots already. And today is the last day for it. So if you want to jump on and be a founding member of Golden Rhino Games, I really can't thank you enough. But if not, I hope that you guys will come in and play on the tables and enjoy it. So
that's
cool. And then what is your store? I know you mentioned it's a hobby store, but for the plethora of people that are watching right now and for people that will watch this on YouTube, what does that mean? What are you going to sell?
So that's the big question, right? So what I'm looking to do is create and foster a store and community that can enjoy all things tabletop hobby miniature related. So obviously I'll be carrying Warhammer 40,000 and Age of Sigmar and Games Workshop products like that. But I've already got things from TT Combat like Drop Fleet and Drop Zone Commander. I've got in Bushido for that. That's a really fun skirmish style game, kind of in feudal Japan, which is awesome. I'm looking to get into that. But obviously Infinity, and I'm looking at Conquest as well. So that I'm super excited about. I'll be able to get that in pretty soon too. But Star Wars Legion, things like that. But the idea is that it's not just a place for you to come in and pick up your hobby supplies and things like that. I'm really trying to have a space where it's almost like a game club atmosphere. I'm going to have 15 feet of hobby space, which is going to be really important now. I have 3 5-foot section tables that I'll be putting together where you can come in and sit down and hobby with each other. And I'll be teaching classes both during the day, which is more of an open environment, come in, sit down and ask questions, and group sessions that you actually can pay entry for, and I literally open up the store an hour before or an hour after the store is closed to do one-on-one in a smaller group session for up to 8 people. So if you wanted to learn how to do contrast paints from A to Z, I will make a class for that. You and your friends can jump in, and it will be a private session, which would be super, super cool. And hopefully a lot of people will be able to not only be able to use and utilize that, but, get invested and get more people invested in the community that way. And then on top of that, like I said, I'm going to have the game tables where I'm going to have 6 to 8 of them, and you'll be able to come in and play your games. Yeah, obviously throughout the week, wherever, but I'll be able to host big events. I'm working on something really freaking sweet right now for Age of Sigmar. I'm so excited about it, but I'll get to that later. And then I'm also going to be able to have it as a tournament hall where I'll be able to do small to medium to even large scale tournaments where I'm actually able to rent out the space next door, which is an extra 3,300 square feet. So an extra 24 tables roughly to set up for 2-day events and things like that.
Yeah, that's enough for a GT.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you touched on a lot there. I think one of the questions that's coming up is if someone wanted to get one of those classes or they wanted to contact the store, or how would they go about doing that? How would someone get in touch with you?
Yeah, so right now I'm doing as much as I can through social media, and Facebook is my biggest platform. I'm most familiar with it, and it's easiest for me to use and get a hold of people. So when it comes time to it, I will be posting the events in there, which you can then contact me directly, or I will put them up on the store's website, which is, again, thegoldenrhinogames.com, and you'll be able to purchase your ticket there. I'm not doing any of that right now, obviously, because I don't have the location and we're in lockdown. I am having a painting contest go on during this, so if you've got like a bunch of backlog of models and you want to join in, you can actually pick up your ticket at goldenrhinogames.com right now for that. It's only $10, and I take all the money that you guys give to me for that, and I turn it right back into prize support for you guys. And it's a cool way for you to kind of, clear through some of the backlog and challenge yourself. Like, can you build and paint this many models and whatnot? So, but going forward, once the store is open, the location is up and running, I'm hoping that I'll be able to do kind of a month in advance or even more on which hobby classes and workshops and things like that I'll be doing. And you'll be able to go, oh, that sounds really cool. I've never done that before. Or, oh, man, I've really needed help with that. And you'll be able to, get into that class. So
Cool. Cool. So you mentioned events. And the first thing I thought of when you said Golden Rhino as a store is the Golden Rhino tournament event.
That's right.
Always seemed awesome. I never had the opportunity to go to it, but I am planning to, in the future. Is that now going to be hosted? It used to be at a library, right?
Correct. Yes.
Are you doing it now at your storefront? Is that the plan, or?
Yes, that is the plan. So the location that I have, which if you guys want to Google search it or MapQuest it, old school there, you can check it out. It's 2092 Whitaker Road. Whoops, let me knock my headphones out. The space there is actually tucked in between 2 other locations, and after talking with the property manager there, I'm actually able to rent out the bigger of the 2 for weekend events for obviously extra charge. So that is where I'll be able to host like the Golden Rhino team tournament, which is what it has been the most, popular and famous for. But then I'm also looking at doing, the Golden Rhino Championship, which is like an ITC style, using ITC missions, one-on-one tournament, but also for Age of Sigmar as well under the Celestial Hammer name, which I've been doing. So that's the Celestial Hammer teams, Celestial Hammer narrative events, which is what I'm working on, and Celestial Hammer Championship. So yeah, that's the idea, is that I'll have some big events you guys can come to, and it's at the store. So if there's a 2-day event or something like that, hopefully either A, you're local, or B, there's a hotel right up the street, which is awesome. It's literally the next plaza over. Couldn't be more convenient. But yeah, that's the idea. And then any smaller events, I'll just be able to host inside the store on those, 8 tables.
Cool. Now you transitioned from GW store owner to individual store owner. So how is it different? What kind of unique challenges, and what are you looking for from an individual store owner now for building a community? Like, how can people? What are you hoping for? Like,
Well, so when I worked at Games Workshop, I was just the store operator there. I wasn't the owner, or I wasn't like a franchisee or anything like that.
Gotcha.
So when I was there was a lot of things that I could do, but there was more than double what I couldn't do. And that was kind of one of the reasons that I left. That is, to this day, I will say, hands down, the best job I've ever worked for somebody. So I'm hoping that I can take what I've learned from that and what I've been able to do there and literally exponentially grow it. I'm talking the hobby space that I had there alone was a whopping 8-foot space. I'm looking at turning that into 15 feet, like I said before. When I was there, we had 4x4 tables. I had 3 4x4 tables for people to play on. So I'm looking at having 8 6x4 tables. But I'm also able to turn around and then do more with that space. I'm going to have bigger hobby space, so bigger hobby classes, so more hands-on stuff. We're going to have more tables to play on, so bigger events, different style leagues, different styles of events, right? But then on top of that, too, is that I now have this freedom that I get to pick and choose the products. I'm personally, I love Games Workshop and all the things they do and they make. I love the Citadel paints. I have my whole paint rack to the left of me here where I could just pick them off by color and I know it because that's what I know. But I just recently got into Turbo Dork paints and I'm going to be able to carry Army Painter and some Vallejo products as well. I'm not going to go too crazy on that stuff to start with, just because I don't know it very well. And then I also hate the idea of duplicating on some things. But I'll be able to carry some of that really unique niche stuff that you might not be able to get anywhere else, and you might not be able to get it anywhere else in the US, that's for sure. Everything I have ordered so far has pretty much come from the UK if it hasn't been manufactured and made in the United States. So like I've been picking up FLG mats and Table War mats, because I love that those are actually made and manufactured in the United States. So I'm going there first. But then things like Table War and, I'm sorry, not Table War, TT Combat and Conquest and Bushido and all that stuff, all that's made and manufactured in the UK. So I've had to, import that in. But it's been a fun experience. So I'm hoping that I'll have a nice, fun diversity, but still all tabletop hobby related. And what I mean by that is, yes, I'll have some board games, but no, I'm not going to do collectible card games. You can go to a lot of other independent stores and pick up that stuff, and I don't want to take away that business from them, and I also don't want to have to, kind of allocate time and space to different players. If everybody's doing tabletop hobby stuff, then let's do it all together, right? And I think that's going to be super, super awesome. So,
yeah. So it sounds like you're really trying to foster that community, the tabletop hobby community. From a store owner perspective, someone walks in off the street.
yeah.
What they don't know Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, Bushido, any of the games.
Right.
What's their best way of interacting with you, or what do you want to see from them to get them into the hobby?
Right. So, kind of like we were saying before the show started for a little bit there, one of my number one things is that if you are a customer and you're thinking about getting into something and you want to go to the local store or whatever and pick up stuff, especially like from my store, right? Have an idea in mind what it is you actually want to do, right? If somebody's brand new and they look into the store window for the first time and they're like, oh my God, what is this? And they come in, I could step in real easily. I can be like, hey, like, what is it that like makes you interested in all this? And if it's overwhelming and whatnot, which it can be, trust me, there's a lot going on. We can take a step back and I can do a simple demo. I can walk you through how to build and paint a model. I can even show you how to play whatever game. But kind of like what I was saying before is make sure you really pay attention to what grabs your attention, right? If you're like, man, those models over there look super, super awesome, then let's go look at those models. Let's black out the rest of the store. Let's focus on one thing, because you can get really inundated real fast. And if you, coming into the store, have an idea what you want to work on, whether it is that new game called Bushido, or maybe you're just trying to paint some lead belcher on your ogre mod tribes, right? If you have that idea in the back of your head when you come into the store, then it's easier for me to work with you to figure out what it is you want to do. Because here's the thing. A lot of stores, when you go in, whether it's Hobby Lobby, Joanne Fabrics, or even your local independent store, right, that carries model supplies and stuff like that, a lot of the times, in my personal experience, when I've walked in, I don't get a hi, hello, what brings you in today, nothing like that, right? Because a lot of people, when they walk in, have this assumption of, I'm here to get a product because that's what you sell, and I don't want to interact with you. And I really hope that with this store and with this community that we can break that habit, that bad habit, and I'll be able to, discuss with you what it is you want to do. Because, yeah, it's true. At the end of the day, I do need to make $1 and I do need to sell something to do that, right? But that's not why I'm getting into this business. That's not why I want to do this. The reason I want to do this and the reason I want to get into this is because if you think it's cool, I want to make it fun and exciting and cool and show you everything you can do with it. Because at the end of the day, if you really like that and you think that is cool and you had a lot of fun with it, you'll come back to me, you'll ask questions, and in the end, you'll buy stuff. So
I actually have a question that.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So I'm on your website right now, Ian, and I see something on here that it's an idea that's been kicked around a lot, and I am actually very excited that you're implementing it.
Okay.
Is try before you buy.
Yeah, man.
That's extremely exciting.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? How many times have you gone to a hobby store and been like, man, this looks really cool, but I don't know what it is, right? Or better yet, you go to your friend's house and they have this really cool skirmish thing on display that they painted up and it looks cool. And they're like, well, do you want to play a game, right? Well, like, you just bust it out and play it, right? Well, why can't you do that at a store? Right? And the answer is a lot of stores today, a lot of mainstream ones especially, they sell the product. They're not there to learn how to play and whatever. I am the total opposite of that. I have learned how to love and play these different games, and I want to play them with you. I'll figure out how to sell it to you later, right? So what I'm going to have is I'm literally going to have a display cabinet set up in the store that's broken up into kind of grids, and it's going to have just a sample force or army of a bunch of different things to choose from, right? And if you're totally brand new, for $5, I'll bust that out, and you can play with it all day. You literally play it for as long as you want, right? And if you love it, then cool. I'll show you where the next step to get started or whatever. But if you're if you're one of the members to the store, because I'm going to do what's called a guild membership.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
You get to do that for free. And the hope is that I'll be able to build and paint a cool new little force. Maybe I'm working on some Age of Sigmar, Beasts of Chaos, right? Well, you'll go into the store and you'll see that there's a small 500 or 1,000 point army on display. And you're like, dude, that's sweet. Can I play with that? Sure. Why not? That's what it's here for, right? And so then you get this fun experience of getting to try it out. And then if you like it, we'll show you where to go from there.
Cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
From a community perspective, then, touching on that new guy comes in to the community. Say you're doing something, you're getting product for somebody else, or if there's a back of the store, you're in the back of the store. What would you like to see from a community member? Like, say I'm in your store.
Yeah.
Do you want me to? Would your best from a store owner perspective? You want me to come get you? Be like, this guy's new. Hey, go over there and talk to him. Do you want me to recognize that you're doing something, and then you want me to step in and say something?
Right.
I see a lot of people do it wrong, so it makes me apprehensive to try and help build a community when I'm in one. But what would you like to see from a store owner's perspective from your community to help your community?
So that is an awesome question that gets physically answered all the time and nobody ever realizes it. So first things first, there is no wrong answer. Because you said like, hey, I feel like I'm going to do this wrong, right? And it's not true. When I'm there, I'm going to be the only guy that's working. I'm going to be by myself. I'm going to be the one that's stocking the shelves, that's checking in product, that's teaching classes, that's helping people get games set up, that's checking somebody out so that they can put their stuff in a locker for the day. They're going to check out there's a lot that's going to be going on in this store that I physically have to do by myself. And you're right. There's going to be a couple of times when someone comes in and goes, whoa, what is this? And I'm not there to jump and say hello. And what's happened a lot of times is, especially when I worked at Games Workshop, is that my guys could see that I was busy doing something, and they would either step in and say, hey, I don't work here, but like I would love to help you or whatever. And it was super friendly and awesome. And there were other guys that came and got me, right? If there's anything that I could ask for you guys to do is just do that, right? If you walk up to them and you say hello and they get greeted, even if I'm not the guy that's worked there, but you try to be polite about it and friendly and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm going to go get the store manager, then I can at least step up, say hello, introduce myself. And if it comes to it, just have a conversation with them. A lot of these people are there to check things out and get into the hobby in some way, and some people don't know anything at all. But as long as we're all friendly and accepting about that, it's okay 10 out of 10 times. Like, well, that's not true. 9 out of 10 times. Every once in a while, you'll get somebody that's like, I'm just here to look. And that's okay, too. Let them just go look, right? But yeah, try to say hello or try to come get me first. Whatever's closest.
Yeah, and that question just came flying in from chat.
Cool.
With your model program, are you going to be selling like wholesale models? Like I see some stores have armies for sale that are built.
That are
or
built
like
and painted?
secondhand model. Yeah.
No, actually, I don't. I'm not going to do used models. I'm not going to do a whole army like sell or anything like that. Mainly because I want you to get into the hobby and to enjoy it in any way you can. And by having a used section or something like that, it's a lot of extra work for not a whole lot of benefit for both parties. And here's why, right? When you have a used model or a used army, right, and you go in and you buy it, and it's like, yeah, now I've got an army to play with. That's true for somebody that's new and that's already experienced in the hobby, which means that they can probably build and paint the models perfectly fine themselves. They're just choosing not to, right? Whereas somebody that's brand new that comes in and they're like, oh, that looks really cool. I like those orcs. Can I buy those? And they do. They've basically started the game at level 5 and they didn't even do the tutorial, right? And now I don't even have anything to really show you with, which, to backtrack on that a little bit, I can bust out some demo models and I will gladly show you, right? But what I want you to do is when you buy something that's brand new for the first time, you get full freedom to make mistakes. And I cannot explain how important that is. Because when you make a mistake, you ask a question. And when you ask a question, you learn. And you become part of that community naturally by doing that. And so my hope is that I can start you small and you can grow slowly and not just throw you into the deep end. Now, to also answer the question in another way, down the road, I may carry some pre-painted or created armies for sale. But not really. That wasn't really on my radar because I really want it to be more about the, coming in and enjoying the hobby full aspects. So
yeah, the social experience.
Yes, exactly. And another thing on that too is people were asking me about like commission paintings or whatever, which I do. I do personally do commission paintings. I'm not going to do that at the store at all. If you are a commission painter and you would like to drop off a business card and help foster that, I will gladly accept that. But I'm not going to do a commission painting service at the store because one, it eats up a lot of time. A lot of you guys know that. But two, it's the principle of giving a man a fish and teaching a man to fish. So
how about model rehab?
Oh,
so
like that's a class, man. I have done that before.
Okay. Because I'm like when I first started painting, I've got some in the basement that looked like I was like just threw them in a box of varnish and shook it.
It's all right. I've been there too, and it's good to recognize that and go through that process and come back to it and learn how to handle the model correctly. Is it plastic? Is it resin? Is it metal? What paint was it painted with? What do I need to strip the paint off with, and for how long? Those are questions that are extremely important when you're talking about potentially damaging hundreds upon hundreds of dollars with the models. So yeah, no, I will gladly run a class on that. Yes.
Okay, yeah, because that's a big one. Because I know you'll go. There's a couple channels that I've seen where they'll buy used models off of eBay that are just broken, covered in like wood
eBay
glue.
rehab. Yeah, that's cool,
eBay
man.
Rehab. Yeah, and so that's always like I don't know, just an opportunity to progress yourself.
It totally is, and if you want to do that, bring in those models that you've gotten, and I will gladly walk you through and show you how to do that.
Yeah, that's cool for players.
And is there an opportunity, maybe in the future, if you're not thinking of it now, but growing this community, or here's a better question. How would people like myself who live in Kalamazoo, or we've got some people in Ohio, Wisconsin, Indiana, how can we be part of your community if we would like to? Even though we may sometimes never be able to set foot in a store.
Right. Well, so That's actually a really good question. So I have started up a Discord channel for the store that every week I kind of jump on Wednesday night and we have a group chat and, basically it's a virtual hobby table, right? I don't have any plans to take that away, so you can join in with us and do that. My hope is that I'll be able to turn that into a live show, kind of like what we're doing now at the store location once a week. I think that would be a lot of fun. But if you really want to be part of the community and you can't come up here obviously every weekend, you want to come up here once in a while, I've been running a Facebook page since early high school. It's called All Warhammer is Awesome. It's all capital letters. It's super goofy, but there's a lot of us in there. It was created for the purpose of anybody in Michigan